keep it to yourself. I don't think we can push ourselves forward and talk about we want to change things in the world if we are going to be the main perpetuators of it. If you like what you like, fine, but shut up about it. Shut up about it, because you can't expect the people on the outside to appreciate who you are if you don't even appreciate who you are. How is that going to happen? Shut up. Hey, hello, welcome to bcentrictv. Welcome to those who are joining us for the very first time, and thank you for those who are coming back. Be sure that you are subscribed to this channel and make sure that you click that notification bell so that you know when I upload videos. All right, y'all. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Black women participate in colorism, texturism, and featurism. Are y'all shocked? I know I'm not. Of course not. If you're black and in America, you are either affected by it or you are a perpetuator of it, right? So, apparently some people are a little shocked that black women, they think that a lot of times we get a pass and things like that. I will say I disagree. But anywho, we're talking about Jonathan Majors. Jonathan Majors has been doing his thing in Hollywood. He just starred in Ant-Man and will be starring in Creed 3 with Michael B. Jordan. And the girls on Twitter are saying that this man has a civil rights face and a slave face. Now, initially, I'm like, well, what does that mean? So, of course, I had to do a little digging on Twitter, even though I don't like going on there. But someone sent me this, and I was like, First, I was like, should I touch on it? And I was like, okay, I'm going to touch on it. Let's see, because I talk about colorism and things like that, but I want to do a deeper dive in colorism in future videos. This I'm going to touch on in a little bit. But, so they were saying he has a slave face. They found him. They didn't think he was attractive. They thought he was ugly. Okay. That's your right, right? I think he's an attractive man, and apparently a lot of other women think he's an attractive man. However, these loud minorities, I like to call them. I call them loud minorities because they're like these minor groups of people. They're not the majority of what the majority of people think, but they're so loud, and honestly, a lot of things are fueled because we, the majority, tend to give them a lot of attention, like I am right now. So anywho, but I do think it's an important topic to kind of touch on, in regards to featurism and things like that. The women are saying he's unattractive. He has a slave face. Some women are taking it as he has just very masculine face, and a lot of them like it. But the others that don't, they're nitpicking at his features. Go figure, right? Wide nose, big lips, dark skin, 4C hair. So they're really going in on him, and it is kind of sad because you don't like to see your own participating in anti-blackness. We do already have enough of people that don't like us, enough of people that's against us. We don't need to be bringing ourselves down. And especially when we want to move forward and we're trying to expand the standard of beauty, trying to show that we are beautiful just the way we are, how we naturally look. We should not be pushing these narratives that wide nose, big lips are not beautiful. They are very much beautiful. Now, had these particular women just say, oh, he's just unattractive, I don't find him cute or whatever, cool, fine. Everybody's not gonna find everybody attractive. I find Jonathan Majors attractive, but I don't find Jay-Z attractive. But you're not gonna sit here and tell me I don't like Jay-Z because of his features, because Jonathan Majors has the same features, but I just don't find Jay-Z attractive. That's me, right? Anywho, but these particular ladies are practicing featurism because they are intentionally pointing out what is typically features that are typically on a person of African descent, aka a black person. So there are so many ways throughout my life that I've seen women participate in colorism, featurism, and texturism. Many of us are, I don't like to say the victims, but we are the ones, dark-skinned women a lot of times are affected by it a lot of times. And I think some women and some people are aware of what they're doing, but I really think most don't realize that is what they're doing. When you have two little girls and you're only telling the light-skinned girl how pretty she is, oh, how pretty your hair is, but you give no compliment of how pretty the dark-skinned girl is who's standing right beside her. No, you didn't call her ugly, but she's internalizing what you didn't say. Imagine standing next to one and all you're doing is praising that person of a lighter complexion and a 3-type hair. Think about it. You know, a lot of women do stuff like that. I don't know if they're still doing that, but I definitely know back in the day that was definitely done a lot and things like that. Down to still saying good hair. Now, I don't hear a lot of, people my age and younger say it, but I still hear or heard older people still saying good hair in regards to people that typically have 3-type hair. Still. Even down to the lighter skinned girl kikiing with the dark skinned guy who just dogged out the darker skinned woman, and him saying how, oh, I only date light skinned girls, and you just like, well, that's just his preference. You don't realize how much you participate in it. But like I said, I really want to touch on colorism more deeper than just being desirable, because I feel like that's typically only the topic. That's a big topic, and it's something I'm definitely going to tap on, but not so much in this video. But there's a lot of people calling those women out. One person was talking about how in this black girl luxury group, they was calling this man everything but the child of God. She said, and this was my thing with the black luxury group. And of course, I know it's not all the women that participate, and I do not think there's anything wrong with having nice stuff. However, one of the main things I would notice is that these women had this, whether they realize it or not, had this obsession with with proximity to whiteness. Down to the European designers, down to how their aesthetic was with the bone straight hair. Just their whole aesthetic just gives, I want to be in proximity of white. And it's not to say black girls cannot enjoy that type of aesthetic, but it gets deep. And there are particular black women who do talk down on black men and things like that. And then I also seen how a lot of them really just didn't give a shit because they said that he only dates white women. So there was quite a few things I seen on Twitter. See, when I get on there, it's so mumble jumble and it's like all over the place. I don't like that app, but I have to use it every now and again for research purposes. It's okay to not be attracted to everyone. It's okay for them not to be attracted to him. But the problem comes is when you point out those features. You're being anti-black. You're participating in the basically the baby of white supremacy, racism, and the byproducts are the other isms, right? So there were some women on there that was saying that, they just didn't find him attractive. It had nothing to do with his looks. Like this one lady said, Idris Elba is a dark-skinned man with black-ass features, and I think he's gorgeous. But if I think Jonathan Majors is ugly, I'm anti-black. Make it make sense. Something like that, I do understand. If you're just simply saying you're not attracted to Jonathan, cool. But like I said, it's when you pinpoint out those features, because a lot of people she named are black with Afrocentric features. Trevante Rhodes, I know that name, but I cannot remember who that is. Michael B. Jordan, Morris Chestnut, Lance Groves, Winston Duke, Aldous Hodge, ooh, he's so fine, and Coffee Cerebro, ooh, he's so fine too. I know I butchered his last name, but yes, so those men are very dark skinned, and some are very dark skinned, and they do have very, for lack of better terms, ethnic features, right? So if you're something like that, I wouldn't just label it featurism. But for those who are pointing out his specific features, yeah, you are. I think there was another way they possibly could have said that they were unattracted to him, but slave face, wow, But there were women on there that was like, I'm fine with a slave face because that gives masculine. It's giving me masculinity. I will say, although I do find him attractive, I could agree that he's not your typical conventional fine type of man. So I can agree with that, but I think he looks great. I think he looks good. could work on his tape line. But other than that, I think he looks good. So here's my thing. Basically, I feel like this internet has given a space for people just to say anything. And boy, will they just say anything. Once again, most people were lighting up their ass. It was a very few. I went on there, and yes, there was a good bit that didn't like them, but the majority people were lighting their ass up. So, you know, I do believe people get called down on their bullshit. It's just whether you're what are you looking for? Because that's all I seen was people calling them out. Now, the subject that I was mostly seeing before I seen the slave face, because I didn't initially see the slave face. Like I said, someone sent this to me. I was noticing people more so talk about the emasculation of him. I'm not going to touch too much on that, but I do want to know what you all think about the cover. I'm somewhere in between because I do understand what is going on to some degree, but also I believe that someone should be able to be who they are, however they want to show their artistry and, you know, express themselves. Everything doesn't have to be hyper masculine. So I don't know. I sit somewhere in between. I don't know. I think he recently spoke on it. And if he's happy with it, who am I? Because what I saw also is that it was an inspiration for something else. So I don't know. I don't think just because he wore pink that, you know, Cameron wore pink. He wore it all through the 2000s and stuff like that. So is there a certain way to wear pink? Now, yes, he had his legs crossed and his lip was poked out. But if y'all look at Jonathan Majors, his lips are always poked out. He has really full lips and they always look like this. That's just how his lips look. So I don't think that was something that was so more intentional, like he was trying to be. I think that's just how he looks. You know, if you really look at him, his lips are always puckered out because he has really full lips and the way they're set. That's just how it is. So if your preferences seem to be slightly texturist, colorist, or all the isms in between, maybe you should keep it to yourself. I don't think we can push ourselves forward and talk about we want to change things in the world if we are going to be the main perpetuators of it. If you like what you like, fine, but shut up about it. Shut up about it, because you can't expect the people on the outside to appreciate who you are if you don't even appreciate who you are. How is that going to happen? Shut up. You know, people just say anything on this internet, child. But your preferences, be mindful of your preferences and think about where your preferences come from. 9 times out of 10, if you're talking about you only like light-skinned guys or light-skinned girls, or you only like want someone with this type of hair, yeah, sweetie, that's anti-blackness. You can call it your preference all you want. You can preference all day, but sweetie, it is anti-blackness, and you are participating in colorism, texturism, featurism, which is a byproduct of racism, which was birthed by white supremacy. You are participating. So, like I said, keep your preferences to yourself if you even see it. Don't, because a lot of times people are they're giving non-solicited information. No one's asking you. I think that's where a lot of the annoyance come in with a lot of people. It's like, who asked you? You know? I don't want to focus too much on stupid people. So I am going to end this video. But like I said, I'll definitely go and touch on colorism a little deeper in other videos. But let me know what you think. What do you think about Jonathan Majors' cover? What do you think about these black women saying he has a slave face? Let me know in the comments. Talk to me. Until next time, be beautiful, be black, be you, always.